Hey everybody, and welcome back to Cowboy Survival. I'm Richard, and today what we're going to do is take a look at the individual first aid kit, or IFAK. Now, it's summertime. We're going to be traveling around with our family. We're going to be going to outings. We're going to be going to cookouts. We're going to be going to the zoo. We're going to be going to the park, to day trips. And inevitably, you're going to run into situations where you're going to get cuts, you're going to get scrapes, you're going to get bee stings, you're going to run into sunburn situations, you're going to run into poison ivy. There's just a lot of things are going to happen, and it's really helpful to have with you a fully stocked first aid kit that your family can use when these types of things arise. So this is the one that I keep in my truck, and we're going to take a look at this one, and also I've got a black one that I keep in my wife's vehicle because the interior of her car is black and she prefers that they sort of match. So we're going to take this apart, take a real close look at everything that's in it, and give you a good listing of everything that you might want to include in your individual first aid kit. So let's go see what's in this thing. So these are my two bags. The green one is the one I keep in my truck. The black one is the one that goes in my wife's car that has the black interior, so it matches, it doesn't show up so much. Now the bags are just a little bit different. The black one is a little more square than the green one is. I've got my tourniquet on the outside of the black one so I can get to it quicker, but I do have a tourniquet in this one, as we'll see in a moment. But both bags have got MOLLE webbing on the front. Both of these bags have got some Velcro up here at the top. And this one actually came with a little first aid patch, not that that matters much, I don't think. They both have a tearaway pad on the back, so you can put this thing on your belt and walk with it, and if you need to, you can just rip the whole bag right off. This one has got some clips here at the top. The green one's got some little clips down here at the bottom. They both have a zipper pouch, and they both have a fold-out section. So the bags themselves are not that much different, just the green one's just a little bit different shape than the black one. So let's just use the green one as our example, and let's see what's in this bag. I think you're going to find it really interesting. So let's take a look at what's in this bag. Now the bag unclips first down here at the bottom. That's the first thing that keeps the bag sort of closed and onto the back pouch here. It also has a secondary hook and loop here on the back that you undo it, and then you can unzip the bag. Now the bag is going to be have two compartments in it. It's not unlike the bag we looked at when we did the 21-piece survival kit from Ozark Trail. It's structured very much the same way. Two large compartments, small compartment that's a zip-up fold-out compartment like this. So let's look first at what's in this pocket here. A lot of my meds and wipes and things are in here. So the first thing we'll look at is my ingestibles. I keep those in a separate baggie. So let's see what I keep in this. I try to be pretty comprehensive, try to keep everything I might need in here. So the first thing I've got is some aspirin. I think everybody needs to have aspirin, particularly me with heart problems. This would be something that would help my heart if I am getting in trouble. Now, of course, I also always carry my nitro with me, but that's not in this bag. That would be in my pocket. I then have some ibuprofen. That's what this is called. It's called Iprin. I bought this from a company called Medique, and they sent me a whole bunch of different stuff. But this is my ibuprofen here. I also have several acetaminophen packs. I've got non-aspirin that's acetaminophen. Then I have this stuff that's called APAP, and it's also acetaminophen. And I think I've actually got another pack of that in here, maybe. Actually, what I have is another pack of the ibuprofen right there. So there's a couple of things of acetaminophen right there. Then what I've got is I've got this stuff Difen. This is a decongestant or an antihistamine that you might need if you run into something. For instance, if you running something that you're allergic to and you get very stuffy, or you need some help with that, this antihistamine is going to help. It's Difen. Now the Diamode, it's really important to get these, make sure you know what you're looking at here. This is for diarrhea, the Diamode. If you get in diarrhea, remember you can always dehydrate very quickly if you're not careful, so you want to make sure you have some of that kind of stuff with you. And then this is simply nothing more than some calcium carbonate. It's basically something in case you get an upset stomach. Can help relieve your stomach a little bit. There are other natural things you can get, like ginger. That's another thing you can take that'll help you with that. So let's put these over to the side. These are my ingestibles. Now, in addition, I've got some wipes. Now, I had a video where I talked about these earlier. It's my poison ivy wipe. Got to have some IVX in case you run into some poison ivy. I've also got some several BD alcohol wipes because I think they're really important. I got a couple of packs of the Sun X50 sunscreen that I think is going to be important, particularly if you're going to be out in the sun. If you've got more kids, you might want to have more of those. I've got several sting relief in case you run into a bee's nest or something. I've got several of these to help relieve stings. And it's rare that you're going to run into a beehive and then only get one sting. You're going to get several, so it's good to have several of these wipes around. And then I've also got some natural insect repellent that helps to repel all kinds of insects, particularly mosquitoes and ticks. We want to keep those off of us. Now, the next thing I want to show you is I've got one of these I picked up at the store. It's some Neosporin. If you get a little injury and you want to put a little antiseptic ointment on it, this is a nice little thing that comes. You just undo it, and it's a real small little package of Neosporin that you can add to a small wound. I also keep in here a small package or a small multi-tool. This can come in handy for a lot of things. It's got little pliers on it. I'm not sure I like this one as much as I like the one from Bass Pro Shop, but it's okay. I think I paid about $5 for it. It's also got a lot of the same features. It's got a little knife on there. I like the knife on the Bass Pro Shop one better. It's a little bigger. It's got a file on there. It's got some other things like a bottle opener, can opener stuff, but it's a nice handy little tool to keep with you. It's very small and fits right in the pouch. I've got a couple of gauze rolls right here, and these gauze rolls are going to be real handy in case you have a wound that you need to wrap up, maybe a deeper cut or a bigger cut, and you want to wrap that up with that. And then to help with that, I've also got in here a roll of tape, so you can tape that onto your skin. I need to get some of the neoprene wrap to put on skin. I've got some, I just don't have it in this bag. In this back pouch, I've got an emergency blanket, because if somebody gets in a situation, they go into shock, they need to be kept warm or something, emergency Mylar thermal blanket is going to be really helpful. Then in this back pouch, I've got a few other things. I've got, this is just an extra pair of gloves that I've got in here, and I've got a pair of gloves over here as well on this other side. So I've got a couple pairs of gloves, because you might have more than one incident where you need to use gloves. This is a couple of triple layer non-stick pads that I have. They're Johnson & Johnson, real nice pads. If you have a big wound, a big scrape particularly, these would come in real handy, like you scrape a bad knee or something. These would be really handy to put and then tape around with your paper tape. And then this is hemostatic gauze. If you have a cut that won't stop bleeding, I've got the hemostatic gauze that you can pack that cut with, or you can wrap that cut with, and that'll help stop the bleeding much more quickly than if it stops on its own. We'll go into this in a minute, this little first aid kit. So what I also have is I've got a tourniquet, and I keep that in a little, it just came in this baggie, so I just leave it in that. And here's the scissors that it comes with. So I've got the tourniquet and the scissors that I might need. And then what I've got is I've got a Sharpie. Now the Sharpie is useful because when I put that tourniquet on, I'm going to need to be able to mark the time that I put the tourniquet on, because the paramedics, when they get there, are going to need to know that. If we have a really bad injury, I also have a emergency compression bandage. If you had a deep laceration, a deep gash on a leg or an arm or somewhere, one of these compression bandages is going to be really helpful to stop that bleeding until professional help can arrive. I also keep in here a small flashlight. Now you notice I don't have any extra light in here like a flashlight or anything like that. I do have a pocket, a little folding pocket. Now this is a pretty small one. Remember, I always carry one in my pocket, but I've got this one as well. I don't even remember where I got it. It's just a real small little knife. I don't carry any flashlight in here because I've always got flashlights in the car that have good fresh batteries. So I have a flashlight if I need one. So let's get the bag out of the way. The last thing I want to show you is I've got my little first aid kit. And in here is where I've got the bandages and things. So the first thing I've got here is just some gauze. This is real good for cleaning up a wound, wiping things off. Those little gauze pads are nice. These are the kind of things that you get at the dentist, where they sort of put in your cheek to stop bleeding after they pull the tooth or something. But these are real nice to have because they really absorb it. I also have in here I've got some sting pads in here as well, and another BD alcohol wipe, and I have some BZK towelettes. These are not alcohol. These are what they call, it's got benzalkonium oxide or chloride, which is a nice towelette for cleaning a wound. You wouldn't want to use alcohol to clean all your wounds. It's good for cleaning your utensils, but you put that on a wound, it's going to sting. Put that on a wound, it's not going to sting as bad. Then I've got a package that's just got, let's see, what else do I have in this? Oh, I got some anti-itch cream in here. I got a couple of those as well. And then what I've got is over here, I've got some just a baggie with different size bandages in it, so that if somebody has a cut and just needs a bandage, they can do that. And that's what's in that first aid kit. So what you see on this table is everything that's in my individual first aid kit for my truck. I think it's pretty comprehensive. I think there's a lot of good stuff there, and I think it could get me through any one-day emergency. Is this going to be good enough to get me through 3 or 4 days? Probably not. Though it might if I have some days where I don't get injured. If I've got to need a long-term, I've got a long-term first aid bag that I would have one of my family members carry if we had to bug out. And it's a very big bag. I think I've shown that to you before. We'll do another video because I've updated it some. But this is what I've got in the bag right now, and I think it's really comprehensive. And I think if you put all this kind of stuff in your first aid kit, in your vehicle, you're going to be ready no matter what kind of injuries come along. You're going to be ready to treat them and to help folks. So hopefully that was helpful. Well, there you have it. My individual first aid kit that's in my truck. So if I got stranded somewhere and had to go, I'd take this out, I'd put it on my side, I'd take my crossbody sling pack that I have, that I already did a video on, I'd put that over my shoulder, and I would be ready to go just about anywhere, and I think I would have everything I need right there with me. The one I have in my wife's vehicle is almost identical. It's got a couple little things that are different. I do keep a chem light in there, but other than that, the two packs are almost identical. So build yourself a pack for each one of your vehicles. Throw it in the back seat and just leave it there for when you're going to need it. Check it occasionally to make sure it's got what you need for the season, and I think you're going to be just fine. So remember what we always say here. Be strong, be prepared, have a blessed day, and we'll see you real soon on Cowboy Survival.